What's going on, everybody? I hope you're all well, and welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. So last episode, we defended Redcliffe. We went ahead and picked up all the Chanter's Board quests. We did talk to Commander Hierarchy, greased the wheels a little bit for the Mage Collective and the Templar Order, which I'm not adverse to doing, since they are going to be helping us with the Darkspawn fight. Any way we can make them stronger benefits us, right? As long as there's no blood magic going on, I don't really have a problem with mages getting a little stronger. We talked to Teagan, and Isolde's Legion ass came down here and said that he had to go up to the castle by himself, which I was not fond of, not a fan of that at all. So this episode, we are going to take that little hidden passage in the mill that he told us about and go see what's going on up in the castle. See what's wrong with Arl Eamon and why it was so pertinent that he had to go by himself. You would think if she was truly concerned for her son and this demon that's possessing him, supposedly, that she would want a Grey Warden up there, not exclude us from the trip, but I guess we'll see. My voice is also dying a little today, but I did bring coffee, so I'm ready to rock. Also gotta keep an eye out for the Blacksmith's daughter while we're in here. Valena, I believe her name is. We did make a promise that we look for her, so...
Away from me.
We are gonna do what we can. Every life saved is a potential paid forward, right? Tales of the Grey Wardens go very far. An inspired mind can do a lot of good, especially in the middle of a big war like this with the Blight. Nothing too hard for this first encounter. Cakewalk for us.
Hello? Who's there? Is there anyone alive out there? Wait, you don't look like the Arlessa's guards. Are you from outside the castle?
And given your robes, I imagine you're the mage that poisoned the Arl. Are you the mage Lady Isolde mentioned?
You've spoken to her? Then you know what I did.
She said you poisoned the Arl.
I'm not proud of my deed. Poisoning Arl Eamon was what I was hired to do. Lady Isolde had no idea when she took me in to tutor her son, of course.
Due to the sun. What about all the walking corpses?
I know it looks suspicious, but I'm not responsible for the creatures and the killings in the castle. I was already imprisoned when all that began. At first, Lady Isolde came here with her men, demanding that I reverse what I'd done. I thought she meant my poisoning of the Arl. That's the first I heard about the walking corpses. She thought I'd summoned a demon to torment her family and destroy Redcliffe. She had me tortured. There was nothing I could do or say that would appease her. So they left me to rot.
Why did you poison Arl Eamon?
I was instructed to by Teagan Isolde. I was told that Arl Eamon was a threat to Ferelden, that if I dealt with him, Loghain would settle matters with the Circle. You see, I'm a Maleficar, a Blood Mage.
Of course you are.
A Blood Mage? Well, that isn't good.
Ah, I thought you looked familiar. I had thought you dead, hunted down by the Templars.
I guess you might have been told that. I was in hiding when I was caught. But instead of killing me, Loghain made me an offer. But he's abandoned me here, hasn't he? Everything's fallen apart and I'm responsible. I have to make it right somehow. I have to.
The self-pity is kind of obnoxious. So Wynn knows him too. And Loghain again, making deals with blood mages. Not directly, but through other people. I believe he said that somebody working for Loghain hired him. So Turn Loghain himself hired you.
Yes. When the Templars caught me, they brought me to Denerim to await execution. Eventually, someone came to see me, alone. It was the Terran. I'd seen paintings of him, so I knew. I thought he'd have me executed right there. But he said I could make up for my crime. He said I would be helping the country.
Well, there you have it. That wasn't even through Arl Howe's little snaky ass. That was Turn Loghain directly, talking to a blood mage and sending him all the way on down to Redcliffe. To poison Arl Eamon. Isn't that something? Why is Arl Eamon a threat, exactly?
He only said that Arl Eamon was dangerous to the nation. Why wouldn't I believe Teagan Isolde?
Right. Dangerous to the nation, why? Because he's married to an Legion? Or just because he threatens his claim to the throne? Why did the Arlessa need a mage to tutor her son?
Connor had started to show Signs. Lady Isolde was terrified the Circle of Magi would take him away for training.
Connor? A mage? I can't believe it.
She sought an apostate, a mage outside the Circle, to teach her son in secret so he could learn to hide his talent. Her husband had no idea.
Right. So instead of sending her son off to the Circle where he could have learned to control his magic and not have something like this happen, she kept it a secret because... what? Selfishness. She didn't want to lose her baby boy for a little bit, so everyone in the castle now has to die because she didn't want her son to go learn how to control his talents. Why would Isolde be frightened of her son becoming a mage?
Because he would be taken away forever. A mage cannot inherit a title, even the son of a powerful Arl. She's also a pious woman. Her son having magic was humiliating.
Right, and since she's a legion, all she cares about is her reputation. So everyone else be damned, right? She doesn't want to be embarrassed, she doesn't want to lose her baby boy for a couple years in the tower, so instead everyone else in the village gets to die. I said before that I had a low opinion of Isolde, but it's just going through the floor right now. Perhaps her son is responsible for what happened.
I thought that too. Connor has little knowledge of magic, but he may have done something to tear open the veil. With the veil to the Fade torn, spirits and demons could infiltrate the castle. Powerful ones could kill and create those walking corpses.
Arl Eamon had no idea of his son's abilities.
No, she was adamant that he never find out. She said that he'd do the right thing, even if it meant losing their son, and that infuriated her.
What had infuriated her that he's a good, honorable man. How much magic did you teach Connor?
Some. But he's still very young. He can barely cast a minor spell, never mind something more powerful. At least not intentionally. Like I said, he may have torn the veil accidentally. If he's involved in this at all, I really don't know.
I see. I think I understand.
I never meant for it to end like this. I swear. Let me help you fix this.
Jowan has good intentions, but a blood mage? I find it difficult to trust his words.
I don't know. He is a blood mage. But this is an unusual situation.
Give me a chance, please.
So how will you make things right?
Well, I tried to save anyone still up there. There must be something I can do.
And how exactly would you do all that? And after that, what happens?
Afterwards, I assume I'll be arrested, or executed, or whatever people like me get. I'm tired of running from the Circle. I need to account for what I've done.
Right. That's commendable, if it's true.
I'm glad you think so. So what now?
So Jowan here is actually in the mage circle origin, and he is in fact a blood mage. He casts all kind of illegal blood mage spells. He gets one of the Chantry sisters imprisoned for life in something somewhat similar to Azkaban in Harry Potter, actually. And then he flees the circle. And then that's where he ends up here, poisoning Arl Eamon on behalf of Teagan again. Right, so we have a decision to make here. Honestly, he's a blood mage. He could be the cause of this, I'm not sure. Even if he isn't, it's one more thing to worry about running around. And who's to say he doesn't, like, flee after we're done with all this in the castle, so... I think you'll stay in your cell for now.
Then I will wait. If you change your mind, I will be here.
This is one more variable that we will have to worry about as we progress through the castle, and I'm not really interested in that, so he's going to stay put for now. We don't need more question marks in here. It's best if everything is known to us. Control the situation a little better.
Unliving wretches.
Maybe he does have good intentions, maybe not, but what I do know, the one thing that's not a variable is that he poisoned Arl Eamon for Teagan again, which means that he's not exactly the most trustworthy, and also what I know is that he's on the run from the Circle for being a blood mage, which also makes him untrustworthy. I'm all for redemption, but not at the cost of potentially a lot of innocent lives here in the castle, more than have already been lost, so he's gonna stay put. That's the call I would make if this were me. After all, that's the point of an RPG, right? If I was a warden, that's what I would do. He would stay put. It's too much at stake right now. We got Teagan and Arl Eamon in here. That's the two heirs to Redcliffe, and if we're going to get Redcliffe for the Blight, we need to at least save one of them, preferably both. Especially given that we need Eamon's help for the Landsmeet. Not willing to risk the entire cause of the Darkspawn fight on Jowan's word. And the castle proper now. Still got to keep an eye out for Valena. Duke, if you'd be so kind, Papa Dreadhowl. Not sure if it'll work on them. I didn't think so. Right, then Alistair, you pop a taunt. We're gonna get ourselves in a flanking position and we're just gonna chop that wood. More of a weakness. Do we have for you, Alistair? We did not get Cleanse Aura yet. Okay. We do need Cleanse Aura eventually for things like that. When minions of darkness like this cast their little spells on us that wreck our hit chance. I like to not sit here missing all the time. I think Wind maybe has something that helps with that, because it is gone unless it's just because we killed the monster that cast. I agree. It went very well.
This should be easy enough.
Make sure you grab this book. It doesn't always glow even with the keybind I told you about. Really warms the heart seeing demons all over the chapel.
As you wish.
Enough. We must have victory.
Here we go!
But we will win. Ain't enough demons in this castle to keep us from Arl Eamon.
Unliving wretches.
I'm gonna wait here for a second and let them come out a little. Alright, now they're pouring through. He's gonna hit that.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
Now we're just gonna get our thing on. Mage first, of course. You see this one here casting his little spells. Alistair with Wind's help is basically unkillable here. He's holding aggro very nicely too. Wonderful. As always, since we did pick up the Chanter's board quest, do keep an eye out for any corpse call you get while you're in the castle. There's a reason I picked that up before I came in here. Achievement unlocked, lockpicker. You see that because it's a fresh save. I'm on a new PC actually, which is why I almost lost my save last time, so all those achievements are going to be popping up again, even though we've already gotten them a billion times.
Let's get started.
This new PC is actually very capable of playing new end games, so you'll probably see a bunch of newer games on the channel here soon. Now that I have a PC capable of playing it and recording it at the same time. Very excited for that. I think the first game I'm going to start with is Final Fantasy 16. That'll be the next modern game upcoming to play. And I'm also considering playing the Veil Guard too, just to see what that's all about. I don't exactly have high hopes for the Veil Guard, but it would be nice to find a new game that I actually enjoy. I really tend to only gravitate towards games that I can get lost in. Games with a really compelling world and a cast of characters that I can dive into with codex and histories of the lands and all that stuff. And it's actually pretty rare to find. I usually only expect to like maybe 1 or 2, 3 games every like 5 years because of my taste. But if anyone can produce it, it is BioWare, and I would like to at least see what we have in store with us for the upcoming Mass Effect game, by what they do with the Veil Guard, so I figure I might play that a little on release. If anything else, people who are interested in it but also don't trust it, maybe I can save you guys some money if it's not so good. And if it is good, I can help you guys sleep easy at night knowing it's $40 well spent, or 50, or however much it's gonna be. But yeah, you'll likely see Veil Guard on the channel when it releases in like a month's time though. If I had done more forward thinking, I could have actually done an entire like Dragon Age series retrospective playthrough before the Veilguard just to get ready for it, you know? All the way up through Inquisition and all that stuff. Still could do that, it's just we would play the Veilguard first. Thankfully I played every Dragon Age game like 200 plus times, so it's not like I'll need a story recap.
This should be easy enough.
Plenty of corpse skull in this room. Make sure you grab all this. Now, enraged corpses, I believe, are the ones possessed by rage demons, right? And shambling ones are sloth, and then devouring are hunger demons. We read all about that in our codex pages. Which is one underrated thing about reading all the codex in a game like this, is the flavor it adds to contextual situations like that. Like, I run into a random demon, but because I read all the codex, I know it's not a random demon. I know it's a hunger demon, or a sloth demon, or a pride demon. It's very underrated. It has some really good gameplay elements, just knowing that you're fighting against a specific thing that you've seen before. At least Mabari, I'm not sure what happened here, whether they're just crazed from hunger or influenced by whatever's going on here with the mage. Unfortunately, we don't really have a choice, they gotta go. Would avoid it if I could. I prefer not to kill Ferelden's best boys.
Here we go.
Fortunately, they didn't leave as much of a choice, and there is loot in here, so... You know how I am about loot goblin. We have Warpaint of the Tempest, that's 30 electricity resistance. We got a Lambo and Faduke, you can chew on that. And we have 30 cold resistance. Those are good situationally, but none of them are really going to beat the 30 physical resistance we have on him right now. For certain encounters that you know is going to be full of electric or cold, then yes, that can be good. We have a black leather collar, which is armor and armor penetration. We'll have to take a look at that later. See how that compares to his current harness.
Trap.
Indeed there is. Go ahead and get that out the way right now.
On it.
I had forgotten that all those achievements pop up like that. I'm really glad I remembered to turn off the setting that screenshots your achievements. Because we're going to be getting spammed with a whole bunch of those. Just given my knowledge of the game. No.
This should be easy enough.
You can just die.
Let's make this quick, shall we?
So, Valena is up ahead here in this little closet, I believe. There she is. Blacksmith's daughter. Get her out of here and keep our promise to him.
Please, don't hurt me.
Calm down. I'm not going to hurt you.
I'm sorry. I'm so frightened. These monsters are everywhere. My name's Valena. The Arlessa's maid. Is she all right? What happened to everyone?
Valena, the smith's daughter.
You know my father. I want to go back to the village. Is there a way out of here?
There's a tunnel leading out into the dungeon.
But the monsters!
I've killed most of them. It's safe.
I'll find my way. I can run fast and I know the castle. Thank you.
I am very thorough when it comes to slaughtering demons. We could have questioned her a little bit about what went on, but I'd rather not have her sit here and risk her life further. Keep our promise, get her to safety, and we can worry about the rest later. And key required for that. You see, that was a door to the main hall, so we're almost where we need to go. Alright, Duke. Come on in here and hit the Dread Howl. Oh boy. Plenty of targets around us, so we'll hit the sweep. Alistair, hit your taunt. Wonderful. Perfect synergy. Just sit here and slowly chop away at these guys while he takes all the damage. Which is what you want out of a tank reader. We told him Shale would be the mobile battering ram. Little did he know, he is going to be the dedicated one for most of our game. More corpse goal. Yeah, I have a suspicion that I am already... Given Jowan's testimony too, I'm pretty sure we all already know what happened here. She didn't want to lose her son. She thought that that was worth the lives of everybody else involved. And this is also a great example of why the circle is needed. Again, this is one mage. And this is a mage who barely understands his talents, right? Jowan said that he can't even cast minor spells. And somehow, he's managed to turn this entire castle into walking corpses that were slaughtering the village routinely. And they would have all died if it wasn't for us. So one mage could have collapsed the entirety of Redcliffe, which if you read the codexes, a lot of people considered to be unassailable and impregnable. And that would have fallen. The second biggest place in Ferelden after Denerim, and it would have fallen because of one child mage. If that doesn't convince you of the importance of the circle, then I'm not sure what would. I think if you cast aside your biases, and there are some exceptions, you know, people could say like, well, what if your wife was a mage? What if your kid was a mage? Like, it would suck.
As you wish.
But like Arl Eamon, I'd like to think that I would do the right thing.
Let's get started.
And again, the tower's not a POW camp. They can leave after they learn, and it's more important for them to learn to control their magic. Like, would you rather your son be in the tower, or would you rather your son turn into an abomination and slaughter an entire village? I would rather be able to go see him in the tower, and, you know, because the abomination only ends one way. As soon as he's possessed, he's already dead, but eventually there's going to be a gang of Templars that are going to cut his head off, or a Grey Warden like us coming here to deal with that. Right, now if you remember, Teagan did give us a little gameplay tip about this. He said that he'll bring his knights up to help. Be careful with this asshole right here. Duke decided to go up here and interrupt the archers, which I'm actually very okay with. Owen is having some problems. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Alistair, go aggro that guy. I can take care of this with the knights for now. Okay. Now, Alistair, hit a taunt. Win, you need to back all the way up out of this fight. Already cast Mark of Death on him, which is good. We have this aura of weakness shit on us again, but we are significantly stronger as a party than the last time we dealt with this, so... Duke, I need you to take a Mabari crunch. We didn't get it in time. Okay. It's okay, we have revival. I think that's about right. It wasn't, we missed. Okay. So we're going to be Dukeless for the rest of this encounter. Alistair, keep popping all that stuff. This Revenant is almost down, we're doing pretty good. Once he's dead, the fight becomes a lot easier to control. Gotta get him down, and there we go, perfect. Now we're immediately going to go up here and chop these archers down. One sweep to interrupt all three. Very cool. Stun him, and that's going to be the end. And Sir Perth and his knight friend survived too, which is also good. And they claim some glory for themselves. They can say they were here. Took part in the retaking of Redcliffe with a Grey Warden. It'd be a nice tale for them to tell years from now. Now, as always, loot the Revenant. They can drop really cool things. He didn't, but that doesn't mean they can't. I think that's the only Revenant in the entire game that you'll fight without having to touch one of those vials. You do usually need to grab one of the vials. There will be a landmark here later when we come back for Duke. Corpse Skull. Frozen Lightning. So.
You have opened the gates. That is good. My men and I are eager to see our Arl again. Shall we enter the main hall together? It must be held if we are to regain control of the castle.
Alright, let's see. No, I would prefer to go alone.
As you wish. We will hold the gate and watch for anyone attempting to leave. Let me know if the situation changes.
That's good. We need him here in case something goes wrong. Somebody has to sit here and protect the village if something happens to us. He's welcome to join us later after we fix all this.
Right.
Perth would actually make a good warden recruit. It's too bad in this game you can't recruit people like that. Because I would love to make Sir Perth a warden. Teagan here doing the jazz hands.
So these are our visitors. The ones you told me about, Mother.
Yes, Connor.
And this is the one who defeated my soldiers. The ones I sent to reclaim my village.
Yes.
And now it's staring at me. What is it, Mother? I can't see it well enough.
This is just a man, Connor. Like your father.
Oh, I am tired of hearing about him. Besides, he's nothing at all like Father. Look at him. Breathing and not dying in the slightest. I could change that, mind you.
You could try.
I beg you. Don't hurt anyone.
Mother? What's happening? Where am I?
Oh, thank the Maker. Connor, can you hear me?
Get away from me, fool woman! You are beginning to bore me.
Grey Warden, please don't hurt my son. He is not responsible for what he does.
He is not, you're right. He's a child, he's no better. The person responsible for what he does here is actually you, the neglectful, selfish, devouring mother. So he is the evil you spoke of.
No! Don't say that! Connor didn't mean to do this. It was that mage, the one who poisoned Eamon.
Right.
He started all this. He summoned this demon. Connor was just trying to help his father.
It was a fair deal. Father is alive, just as I wanted. Now it's my turn to sit on the throne and send out armies to conquer the world. Nobody tells me what to do anymore.
Nobody tells him what to do. Nobody! Ha 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 ha!
Quiet, Uncle! I warned you what would happen if you kept shouting, didn't I? Yes, I did. But let's keep things civil. This man will have the audience he seeks. Tell us, what have you come here for?
So I actually don't think, it doesn't seem like Jowan is responsible for this at all, actually. What it seems like happened is that he poisoned Arl Eamon, and then whatever demon this is from beyond the veil came to Connor in a dream, knowing the situation, and offered him a deal, saying that he would save his father as long as he let him possess him, and Connor being a child, not knowing better, since his mother kept him from the circle, he agreed. And now here we are. He likely thought it was just a dream, no real consequences to it. I came to stop you.
I'm not finished playing. You can't make me stop.
I think we can.
I think it's trying to spoil my fun, Mother.
I don't think...
Of course you don't. Ever since you sent the knights away, you do nothing but deprive me of my fun. Frankly, it's getting dull. I crave excitement and action. This man spoiled my sport by saving that stupid village, and now he'll repay me.
This is all of your making, Isolde. Teagan's very invested in this battle, as you can hear. Everyone that's about to die in this castle is because of Isolde. She will never understand that. She's too self-absorbed to ever comprehend that kind of, you know, self-responsibility, self-inflection. She still thinks that there's nothing to do with Connor. Thinks it's all the Blood Mage's fault. That she hired, by the way. The only reason that Blood Mage is even in this castle is because of her. Because she didn't want, like, Connor to go learn how to not fall to things like this. That's all her fault. He he's literally talking like the Exorcism Part 3, and she's sitting there like, no, my baby boy, he would never, it's Jowan. Like, open your eyes. I understand unconditional love, and it's really unfortunate what happened here. But you gotta face the facts at some point. And I'm not saying that I'm just gonna like chop Connor's head off and be done with it. It's not that, it's a child, it's not that simple. But it is important to lay blame where it belongs. And it definitely, certainly belongs with her.
Teagan. Oh, Teagan.
Thank God Teagan didn't need to die in that fight.
I am better now, I think. My mind is my own again.
You knock some sense into him.
I would never have forgiven myself had you died. Not after I brought you here.
You should already not be forgiving yourself.
All I am. Please. Connor's not responsible for this. There must be some way we can save him.
You see, she has complete and utter disdain for her charges in Redcliffe. She only would have never forgiven herself if Teagan died. All her knights, the dead on the floor in the background here, zero remorse or concern for them at all. Just Teagan. Never mind all the women and children that died outside in the village because of her. Just wasn't a thought in her mind. You knew about this all along.
Yes. I didn't tell you because I believed we could help him. I still do.
I do not know if we can save him. Demons do not listen to reason.
He's not always the demon you saw. Connor is still inside him, and sometimes he breaks through. Please. I just want to protect him.
Now what exactly
Isn't that
did...
what started this?
Correct.
You hired the mage to teach Connor in secret, to protect him.
If they discovered
as always,
Connor had
Teagan.
magic, then they'd take him away. I thought if he learned just enough to hide it, then...
So, like she said, she thought they could help. What did she think Teagan was going to do? Come up here and pull out a crucifix and say the power of Christ compels you? Like, what did... No, obviously you need more official help from, like, the Circle Mage, or, I don't know, a Grey Warden. What is Teagan going to do here? It doesn't make sense. She doesn't think about anybody but herself. Completely selfish. She isn't even concerned for Eamon. Eamon is upstairs, like, dying in his bed, barely being held to life by whatever demon made this deal with Connor, and all she can think about is getting more people killed. Where's Arl Eamon?
Upstairs in his room. I think the demon has been keeping him alive.
So if we destroy the demon, then...
Then my husband may perish. Yes.
Where is Connor now? Why did he run?
I think he ran upstairs, to the family quarters.
Violence scares him. I know that sounds strange. He may have run up to his room, or
Or he might be waiting in ambush.
I don't know. The fighting may have scared Connor into coming out again, and so he ran.
So you're saying he may be vulnerable?
Perhaps. Is there no other way?
What are our options?
I wouldn't normally suggest slaying a child, but he's an abomination. I'm not sure there's any choice.
I do not like the idea of hurting the boy, but...
Connor is my nephew. But... he is also possessed by a demon. Death would be... merciful.
No? What about the mage? He could know something of this demon? If he still lives, we could speak to him.
He's down in the dungeon, still alive.
Then we should bring him here immediately. I do not know how much we can trust him. But we must find out what he knows. Teagan, could you find him?
I will try. Though if he resists, I will not hesitate to kill him. I'll return shortly.
You're lucky to be alive, Jowan. After all you've done.
I didn't summon any demon, Lady Isolde. But I did poison the Arl, and that started all this. I'm willing to help if you'll let me. The demon in Connor needs to be destroyed. Killing Connor is the easiest way to do that, certainly. But there is another way. A mage could confront the demon in the Fade, without hurting Connor himself.
What do you mean? Is the demon not within Connor?
Not physically. The demon approached Connor in the Fade while he dreamt, and controls him from there. We can use the connection between them to find the demon.
You can enter the Fade, then? And kill the demon without hurting my boy?
No, but I can enable another mage to do so. It normally requires lyrium and several mages. But I have... blood magic.
That's not going to be happening. Blood magic is forbidden. It's not an option.
There's a way. I must know it. Please. Tell us what you mean, Jowan.
Lyrium provides the power for the ritual, but I can take that power from someone's life energy. This ritual requires a lot of it, however. All of it, in fact.
So, someone must die? Someone must be sacrificed?
Yes, and then we send another mage into the Fade. I can't enter because I'm doing the ritual. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. It's not much of an option.
You're right, it's not an option. Is there no other method?
The power has to come from somewhere, and that means either lyrium or blood.
Then let it be my blood. I will be the sacrifice.
What? Isolde, are you mad? Eamon would never allow this.
Either someone kills my son to destroy that thing inside him, or I give my life so my son can live. To me, the answer is clear.
Blood magic. How can more evil be of any help here?
It definitely
Two
isn't.
wrongs don't make a right.
And it won't be.
Can you even trust this Jowan to do as he promises? Give him access to such power, and who knows what he shall do. I am uneasy.
Connor is blameless in this. He should not have to pay the price.
It's up to you, my friend. You know more about such things than I do, and it's your companion going into the Fade. The decision is yours.
Right. So, it's very touching that she just wants to throw herself on the sword here, but that's not going to happen. We're not going to be performing a blood magic ritual around a demon-infested castle. That's not going to happen, so there must be another way to enter the Fade.
You can find lyrium and more mages at the Circle of Magi, if they would even do it.
The Circle Tower is not far from here, and they owe me.
Indeed. It should not be difficult to get what is needed, provided we have the time.
But what will happen here? Connor will not remain passive forever.
I will take that chance.
Very well. I will keep Jowan here as a precaution. He says he wants to help, so he will keep an eye on Connor with us. Go to the tower quickly, then. The longer you are away, the greater the chances of disaster.
Aye. Good luck, Teagan. I wouldn't trust Isolde very much while I'm gone.
Should be easy enough.
Now, there are actually lots of ways to complete this quest. You can have Jowan do his little blood ritual, where Isolde sacrifices herself to open the Fade portal. That's one option. The second option is we can just go upstairs and straight up kill Connor. If you don't feel comfortable... Now, here's where this game is benefiting a little bit from my knowledge of the game. The first time I played this game, I had no idea that you could leave and come back and everything would be okay. And I wasn't comfortable leaving a demon-infested castle with the two noblemen that I need for Redcliffe's aid for the Blight. So I progressed through the castle and I took Connor's life. Now, in my second playthrough, I was like, I wonder what would happen if I hadn't have done that. What happens if I just go to the mage circle? And nothing bad happened, to my surprise. But I suppose that is also the beauty of first playthroughs when you don't know, right? All the suspected consequences. The fact that this game even enables you to do that with Connor as an option is one of the reasons why I love old RPGs so much. They do not make them like this anymore. There is no game developer in the entirety of the world that would do that as a decision option in this day and age. It wouldn't happen. There is no way they would ever do anything like that. One of the beautiful things of old games and risk-taking, taking chances, dark fantasy. It's all very good. I've never found a game. The only game I found that comes close to those kind of dark enabling decisions would be Baldur's Gate 3. You can do some pretty twisted stuff, and he certainly took risks in that game too. Now, the other option to complete this is we can go to the Circle Tower. Also, to add, the first time I played this game, I hadn't gone to the circle prior to coming to Redcliffe. So, imagine my surprise when I got to the tower, and it was all a giant shit show, and I had to spend time in the Fade learning about demons and mages. I essentially left this place in a very dire situation and then went away to the circle to learn how much of a bad decision that was and how dangerous that really was. I had no idea how well that was going to work out, but I don't like to save scum, so I committed to the decision, kind of like I did with Murdoch dying in the village, and I just went forward. When I got here, everything was fine. It all worked out. So those are the ways to progress this quest. You can take Jowan's ritual, you can just clear the castle out like we're doing right now and kill Connor. Now, we're not going to kill Connor. You can clear the castle up to a certain point, and then you have to leave. Otherwise, you'll start... Here's the amulet that Alistair said he smashed. This is actually Arl Eamon's private quarters study, too. So that means he fixed it. Because Alistair said he threw it against the wall and smashed it. You see, Eamon fixed it and kept it. Maybe one day to give it back to him. We'll be giving that to Alistair later.
On it.
Yeah, you can clear this castle up to a certain point, and if you stop, I'll show you where to stop. If you stop before you get to said point, you won't have to do the Connor encounter, but you do get all this extra XP and goodies at the castle early, so that's why we're doing what we're doing here.
On it.
Alistair, if you'd be so kind. Duke's gonna run in and pop Howl, and then we're just gonna pop that wood. Now again, this seemed like a very bad decision to me in my first playthrough. I was very worried about the outcome, but there are a lot of branching points and paths in this game where you have different ways to deal with it. This is the most notable one, and I think the most respectable. When I think of decisions that Dragon Age, that BioWare has made, where they have made really impactful decisions and branching paths to deal with things, that's probably one of the main ones that come to my mind. You know, there's some dialogue stuff, like what you can do with Saren in Mass Effect 1. But for the most part, they don't take as big a risks as this. And I've never seen the statistics, but I would be curious to see the amount of players who felt exactly like me on their first blind playthrough and decided to kill Connor because it was too risky to walk away from this. I guess if anybody watching this did that too, then let me know down in the comments. So once you're up here in the top part of this castle, you do have to be careful not to trigger Connor's fight. Otherwise we will be locked into the decisions we've made so far and we'll have to cut his head off. Once you aggro him, you can't walk away. What we are going to do is we're going to save right here. Just in case. But I am very confident that I know where the cutoff point is, so... Since I didn't pull you all in the taunt, go ahead and stun you all. Alright, chop that wood. Get these off from behind us while Alistair deals with the rest. My willpower is getting up here nicely too. You see that for the most part, we constantly have the stamina required to do all of our abilities. It's staying up nice and high. Alistair got a level, which is wonderful. He's holding up really well. And we gotta finish it too, just to finish it off nicely. And we'll go ahead and take a look at Alistair's level up here in a second. Now, the only downside to this is when we come in here later, you might get a little confused why there isn't any endgame loot in such an endgame location. But that's just because we came here early. But don't feel like you got cheated if you follow this and you come here and there's no loot up here. It's because we got it early. But this game is very, very long. 100+ hours if you do everything, so... There's been times that even I have forgotten about that and been like, why are all these chests empty? It's actually because I came here early like this. The stone statue dragonette is, wow, I read that wrong. The stone dragon statuette is a pretty good gift. I believe that is for Morrigan, I think. Or Corpse Skull.
Right.
And the last bedroom. There is a codex in here, I think. Or maybe it's just a chest. Why bow? Okay, no codex. Right, now the cutoff point for not having to kill Connor here is right up here. Anything beyond this little corridor, you will have to kill Connor. Do not go up there. This room is the final room you can do anything with. Do not go past here or you'll have to kill Connor. But in here is perfectly safe. Because this is where the vault is that we got the key to for the when we killed the Chamberlain. We cleared out that room. We got the key to Redcliffe Vault. As long as you don't go up this ramp, you're good. You can come here and loot the vault early too. Just don't go up there. Save that till later in the game. If you go up there, you're gonna find Connor by Arl Eamon's side, and it's gonna get messy. If that's how you want this questline to end, then go ahead and do that. But what I'm trying to recreate here is my canon playthrough, the one that I've taken through all the series with the world state import. But I like XP and loot, so of course I'm gonna come up here and loot Redcliffe's vault.
This should be easy enough.
Be rude not to, right? So we have the Fox's Bow, which is a short bow, so womp on that. You got an armor stand, heavy chainmail, heavy plate armor Viridian would be really good under normal circumstances, so it is worth coming up here. Red steel longsword, the Chevalier's mace. It is worth your time. You get the silver framed still life painting. It's definitely worth your time. Commander's plate boots, Eamon's shield. There's some good loot up here. We won't be using much of it since we're using the Warden armor mod, and I just love the way it looks, but we might throw it on some other characters we have. Again, I'm only using this mod for Alistair and me. I'm not going to throw it on all the companions. Alright, and we are done here. So, Death of Connor. Circle Tower. Alright, before we head back down out of the castle, we are going to take care of these level ups. So, Alistair, you look like you need some dexterity for those shield talents. Let's pump that up. You're holding up fine in every other aspect. Shield wall or shield tactics. Let's get him shield wall. It's been a long time coming for that, and we'll take care of Duke's level up over here. Give you 20 dex for some extra defense, and 34 strength should be well on your way to glory. Which means, since we did do that, we gotta change Alistair's tactics a smidge. Alistair, instead of self any shield defense, we are gonna do self any shield wall. You have shield bash, shield pummel, taunt. Eventually, with this last slot in tactics, we'll go ahead and put cleanse aura, or if any of us have a negative status effect. Now we'll drop this all the way over here, take that off, turn that on, and we are ready to go. Back on down the castle. I do want to quickly swing by the courtyard and double check that the tree that Duke can pee on is peeable. At the very least, we can tell Sir Perth that everything is okay up here. Never mind, he's actually gone. The landmark tree is available. Dude, go ahead and do your thing. Mabari dominance. A wonderful thing. And now we can just leave out the front. We don't have to bother going through all that again. But before I wrap up, I will go tell the blacksmith that his daughter is A-okay. We do have those Chanter's board quests. I'm going to take care of that next episode. But for now, I want to go tell the blacksmith that I kept my promise. And then we can clean up our inventory a little with him too. When I go do those Chanter's board quests, I'll probably take Sten out for another run. Do that next episode, and then after that, we'll catch up on Codex if we found enough. And then we'll go to the Circle Tower and get help for Redcliffe. There's no timer on these things. These situations seem like they're very pressing. But Connor will remain passive for as long as you want until you come back. I've done so many things in between this just to test, and it's fine. I've come here before, gone all the way through the Brasilian forest and Orzammar, and then come back and done it last, and it's been A-okay. The only way you can mess up is if you come down here and you talk to Teagan about the Nightfall invasion and then leave. That's a problem. And if you send Teagan into the castle and then leave, that can also be a problem. But there's plenty of points where you can pause this.
My Valena returned.
She told me of your daring rescue. I can't begin to tell you how grateful I am. Take
I did
this,
make you a promise, friend.
a reward for your deed. It's dwarven made and should serve you well.
Thank you. I was glad to help.
Thank you again. I'm forever in your debt.
Alright, Valena, can you give us any information?
Thank you, kind sir.
You
I could
cannot.
never have been able to return to my father if it wasn't for you.
Alrighty, that's fine. Well, that's going to be a wrap for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe, leave a like and a comment. If you want to support the cause and help improve the channel, there is a tip link in the description below. Otherwise, stay tuned and I'll see you guys soon with more Dragon Age Origins. Have a good day, guys. Take care.